Good morning everyone. IQRA IAS welcomes all of you and I hope you are doing fine and getting ready for the examination. 2021 crash course for prelims. Civil Services, I hope everyone is fine and we have again come to give you something good that is going to definitely help you in the examination. Now, hardly 3 months are left approximately. But these 3 months, they are going to be sufficient if you are in a right direction. It's the quality that matters and not the quantity. Yes, qualitative education is going to definitely help you, and particularly when we see the previous year's question, in the recent times, what we can see is the level of questions they have increased. Yes, so you will have to be very, very careful. Conceptual clarity is the most important thing, then only you will have a command over the current as well. Because questions definitely they are going to come from the current. But in my personal opinion, current is nothing, it's an outcome of the past or maybe application of the concept. If your concepts are not clear, you won't be able to understand even the current. Your study has to be application based. Okay. Moreover, you have to link the things. You cannot discuss things in isolation because level of question in this examination also, I am hoping it is going to be very, very difficult, very, very tough. But once you are comfortable, once your understanding level is good, I don't think you are going to face any problem. So, let us now start. Myself, Dr. S.K. Jha, and I will be teaching you Indian economy. Now, what should be the strategy? What should the strategy? To listen to me carefully because different subject has its own requirement. Some of the papers, they are very, very dynamic. Some of them, they are little bit dynamic or simply static. So, your approach has to be different. It is said that every patient cannot be given the same medicine. The same applies here. So, your approach has to be different in different paper. Before I can start, few things you must remember in this subject. Now, in this subject, economics, this subject is very, very dynamic. Things are changing all the time. It simply means syllabus can never be completed. Because the day I finish the syllabus, tomorrow everything is going to change. So, mere completion of syllabus should not be the criteria. The main thing is, it's all about your understanding. Once you are comfortable, not only you will be able to understand the current things, but also you have good idea what is going to come in the future as well. Okay, so not only everything is dynamic, for example, demand. Is it constant? No, it is changing all the time. What about supply? It is changing all the time. What about your income? It should be changing all the time. Yes, what about technology? Always going to change. What about your preferences? They are going to fluctuate. What about the fashion? So, nothing is constant, to be honest. So, things are very, very dynamic. So, always repeating again, don't try to concentrate only on your syllabus because questions can come from anywhere. And moreover, this subject is being linked with other papers as well because behind many papers, economy is going to be the base. So, if you are comfortable in this subject, it means you are going to be comfortable in many papers as well. Okay, it's a crash course. Okay, so, we will be discussing only those areas which are, in our view, it is going to be important, but nothing is guaranteed. And moreover, once you are going through these classes, it is going to help you not only in crash course, but also in the coming examination as well. It is going to provide you a platform on that you can go for further examination. So, this subject, first thing, few things I am repeating. First thing I said, everything is dynamic and moreover, all are interrelated. And moreover, all are cause and effect of each other. You know the meaning of the word cause and effect? All, whatever I can say, it means suppose we have to discuss 50 things. So, not only 50 things, all the 50, they are variable, but they are interrelated, interdependent and moreover, they are cause and effect of each other. Suppose first is changing, so it means it will affect the remaining 49 and in the end, first itself will get affected. Okay. So, that is the key to this subject. It's just like in mathematics, you know, it is known to be, mathematics, it is known to be a circle. So it is said that in a circle there is no beginning point, no end point. All the points can be called beginning point as well as the end point. And moreover, I am marking few points. Okay, few points. This is first, second, third, fourth, and 5. Okay, and this is going to be the direction anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Now, if first is changing, it will affect the second. When second is changing, it will affect the third. When third is changing, it will affect the fourth. And when fourth is changing, it will affect the fifth. And when fifth is changing, it will affect the first. It means what? Again, all are interrelated. And if one is changing, it is going to affect the rest, and in then itself is going to get affected. Now say the relationship between first and second. Yes, they are interrelated. And if I ask the question, which one is cause and which one is effect? So some of the people among you may be saying, one is cause and second is effect. So that is wrong. Okay. Both are, in fact, all are cause and effect of each other. See how? If first is changing, it will affect the second. So here first becomes the cause and second becomes the effect. And when second is changing, this way it is going to affect the first. So now the second becomes the cause and first becomes the effect. So this interrelationship, cause and effect relationship, it is the key to the subject. Let me ask one question. Okay. What about poverty? Poverty is a cause or effect. So different answers, normally they come from your side. But the reality is, poverty basically is a cause and effect, again, both. It is said that poor are poor because they are poor. I repeat again, poor are poor because they are poor. It means what? It's a cause and effect as well. Now you are poor because your parents are poor. So your parents become cause and you become effect. And since you are poor, your next generation is going to be poor. So now you become the cause and next generation is going to become the effect. So this circle has been formed, and it's very difficult to break this circle. This is what we can see with respect to Indian economy. We are facing the circle of, we say circle of poverty, and whatever they are going to come in that circle, all are interrelated and all are cause and effect of each other. And yes, that's why it has become very difficult for everyone, or in fact most of the poor countries, to break the circle. And unless this circle is broken, the real development is not going to start. Okay. And that's why this point, the first point, is going to be very important. So everything, first point, everything is dynamic, changing, and all are interrelated and all are cause and effect of each other. So interrelationship and interdependence is going to be the key. So first thing, your strategy, part of strategy, can never try to discuss in isolation. Okay, today we are going to start planning, and from the first chapter to first plan to 12th plan. Okay, now planning chapter is over. It is not going to help you, to be honest, and particularly in such civil services. It may be helpful. It may be helpful in case of state services. Now syllabus, most of the state services, syllabus has become the same, but level of question definitely they are going to be different. UPSC is totally different from the state level. Yes, level of UPSC is very high. So everything I will discuss in the coming videos. So first point. Second point, that is more important to make your approach very, very productive. See, one of the economists has said, and said very rightly, no one can be made better off without making anyone worse off. I repeat again, no one can be made better off without making anyone worse off. It simply means, in a layman term, if one person is having some gain, it means at the same time another is losing. It means everything has two sides, positive and negative. And we have to see both the sides. In a layman term, I can also say the same thing can be described in many ways. Without creating a new problem, old problem cannot be solved. Once you try to solve one of the problem, at the same time, what will happen? Another problem will come. And when you try to solve the second one, the third problem will come, and it will continue till economy there. What government of India is doing? What government of India is doing? All the time coming out with some new policy. New measures are taken by the government. So what is the purpose? To solve the problem or to create the problem? So definitely to solve the problem. But the problem is, once government is trying to solve one of the problem, at the same time, what will happen? Another problem will be created. So without creating a new problem, old problem cannot be solved. Let me now discuss this thing in detail. Because when I come across with most of the people, So I have seen in India there are only two types of people. One who blindly support the government, and second who blindly oppose the government, depending on to which party they belong. This you don't have to do. Your approach has to be good. Now what about agriculture reform bill? Good or bad? So it has both the sides. Both the sides. You have to cover both the sides. These are the drawbacks, these are the merits, and these are the drawbacks. So that you can answer according to the question. In the economic survey, whatever chapters we will discuss, I will try to focus major issues. So what I can say, the approach of economic survey is lopsided. Lopsided everywhere, whether it's a government is doing fine or government is not doing fine, everywhere it has tried to, yes, protect the government. All the measures of the government, they have been justified. Nothing is wrong on the part of the government, but that is incorrect. So we will focus those areas also which have not been mentioned in the economic survey. Yes, so budget also. So my approach will be interrelated, and I will, along with the concept, I will be discussing this current as well. Now come to the main issue. So everything has two sides, positive, negative. Let me now discuss by taking one example. Taking one example, post-COVID period we have seen, we are facing so many problems. List of problems is very long. So I will go for two. On the first side, we are going to face the problem of inflation. And on the other side, what we can say, deficits of the government has increased. And it has increased to a very, very high level. Yes, to meet the deficit, government's borrowing for the next year, it is going to be in excess of 15 lakh crore. Yes, historic, never in the past. So government has also lived with no money as claimed by the government. And moreover, we people of India, we are going to face the problem of inflation. So given the choice, inflation, the state where prices are rising. And when the inflationary pressure is very high, it's a common people. Poor people, they will be hurt very, very badly because the purchasing power of their money is going to be lost. So many problems are there, I have taken two. Now if you people are given the choice, which problem you would like to solve first? Means you will go for solving the problems of inflation or maybe deficit. So different people, their preference order is different. Some people, they will go for inflation. Some people, they will go for deficit. So those people who are thinking about themselves first, so they will go for deficit, solving the problem of deficit. But those people who are thinking about the nation first, so they will go for deficit. So those people who are thinking about or giving the preference to inflation. Prices are increasing. Now, prices in India, they have increased, they are increasing, and in the coming days also, during summer as well, it is going to be high. What are the reasons behind that? The reasons are so many, but one of the reasons behind that is a government's policy as well. Because whenever we buy anything, we have to pay taxes, and after taxes, products are being sold to we people. Now in India, tax rate is very, very high. Very, very high. It's higher than the global average. Even under GST, tax rates are very, very high. What we can say, take the case of petroleum product. Yes, in Delhi right now, per litre of petrol, it is costing rupees 90. Yes, in case of diesel, it's 80 rupees per litre. It's very high, very high. In some of the states, it has touched 100 rupees. So I will go for, you check your price of your own state, go to Delhi. So 90 rupees per litre we are paying for petrol. So out of that 90 rupees, tax amount is 65%. 65%. Around 60 rupees, you can say. 60 rupee, more than 60 rupee, around 65 rupee. So we are paying as tax, highest in the world. In case of diesel, it's 60%. None of the government in the world is going for or opting for such a high rate of tax. So because tax rates in India, they are very, very high. Even GST, you can say the highest rate is 28%. So tax rates in India, since they are very, very high, leading to high inflation. Now see the case of petroleum product. So out of every 90 rupees, 65 rupees approximately tax. Some of the taxes, they are levied by central government, some of them by the state government. So both the government, they can cut the share of their taxes. If it is cut by central government, definitely it will have its impact throughout the country. But if it is cut by state government, price is going to be less in that particular state. So if the tax rates are cut, I am concerned with the central government. If the tax rates are cut by the government, what will happen to the price of petroleum product? Definitely it is going to come down. And you people, you know that if petroleum prices, they have a direct impact on the price level. If the petroleum prices they increase, it is going to inflate the economy and vice versa. So if the tax rates are cut by the central government, what will happen? It will definitely help inflation to come down. So one of the problem will be solved. Okay, what will solve? But what will happen to the second problem? Second problem, tax is one of the main source of income for the government. And if the tax rates are cut, it will lead to less revenue for the government, and less revenue means more deficit. So deficit of the government is definitely going to increase. So what we can say, this was a simple example, everything has two sides. Without creating a new problem, old problem cannot be solved. And this is true for we people in our personal life as well as the country. So that's why your approach has to be very, very rational. This is positive, this is negative. Because in the newspaper, when you go through the newspaper, always go through the current issues and mainly the articles written by the big people. Now, agriculture reform bill, first day, one of the economists has written some article supporting the government. This is very good. So just go through that article and just try to find on what ground that person has supported. So note down those points. Yes, these are the positive. Next day, someone else is writing an article and criticizing the government. So just go through those articles as well, criticizing the government, and try to find on what ground it is being criticized. To note down those points as well, so that you can be ready for all the things. And according to question, you have to answer. It's not that you blindly are going to support the government or opposing the government. This I can say is very common among you people. Always, some people I have seen, they blindly support the government, and some people, they simply criticize. And if this is your approach, I am sure you are not going to qualify for the civil services. Your approach has to be very, very rational. Approach has to be very, very valid. So this is the second thing you have to remember. Okay, now come to the third. Third is the most important. Third is the most important thing. Now in this subject, it is said that you will get 50% discount. 50% discount you are always going to get. Why 50%? None of the subject other than economics in civil services can give you this much of discount, because in this subject the best thing is reason becomes remedy. Reason, whatever the reason is, the same reason is going to become remedy. So let me discuss now first one example. Now I am asking you people, you people are poor. The question is, why you are poor? You are poor. Why you are poor? So the reason is because for you people income could not be generated. I repeat, you are poor. Why you are poor? Because for you people income could not be generated. This is the reason. So where the remedy? So reason becomes remedy. Let us generate income for you. Try to listen to me carefully. Reason becomes remedy. You have to know the reason, and once you know the reason, you know the remedy. You people are poor because for you people income could not be generated. This is the reason. So where the remedy? Let us generate income for you. Now think carefully. The first thing that is to be understood, you will try to get the reason first or remedy first. So definitely you must know the reason, and once you know the reason, you know the remedy. Now let me ask one question from you people. What I can say, most of the people, they are going through the current. Questions are going to coming from current. That is correct. But I repeat again, current is nothing. It's an application of the concept or simply outcome of the past. Government of India has come out with budget or simply new economic policy. So policies of the government, they are means or end. So definitely they are the means to get some end. Government has taken this measure to solve this problem. So they are coming in the category of reason or remedy. So they are coming in the category of remedies. Now you don't know the reason. This is a problem. You don't know the reason, you try to go through the remedy. And that's why you are unable to understand the current. Yes, current, they are the measures taken by the government to move the country forward, to solve the problem, and they are not the reasons, they are the remedial measure. So before going to the current, you must be very, very comfortable about the reasons of the economy, reasons of the poor performance, or maybe whatever the problems are. And that's why people go through current. Questions are also coming from current, but they are unable to answer in the examination. And yes, so when you go through, if the concepts are missing, and directly if you go through the current, you are not going through current, you are simply going through maybe English, maybe Hindi, that is not going to help you. I will be asking question from you from the same topic, okay, you have gone through today, but you won't be able to understand. Okay. Without knowing the reason, you cannot understand remedy. The first thing is the reason. First thing is the reason. I hope that you people are now little bit comfortable. So what is going to be your strategy? So my strategy to teach you is like this. So I will be focusing the core areas, okay, and it will be linked with the current along with the budget and the economy survey, so that you will find the things very, very easy, very, very easy. But three things I have discussed, these three things you have to keep in mind all the time, not only for this examination, but for mains as well and other examination as well. First thing, so let me conclude now, then I am going to start, okay. The first point I said, in this subject, everything is dynamic and all are interrelated, all are interdependent, and moreover, all are cause and effect of each other. Second, everything has two sides, positive and negative. We have to cover both the sides, these are the positives, these are the negatives. Okay. And the third is 50% discount, means reason is going to become the remedy. So first thing, what is needed? To go through reason, and once you know the reason, then remedy becomes very easy. Okay. So let us now start Crash Course 2021. And myself again, Dr. S.K. Jha, and I will be teaching Indian economy. So starting from where? Okay. Where? Because this subject is just like a circle, there is no beginning point and no end point. So from where to start? Okay. I repeat, from where to start? Because every point can be called beginning point as well as end point. But somehow I will have to make a start. So initial one class, okay, it will be completely basic, and then directly once you are comfortable with the basic, then we will directly move to the topic. Okay. So just one or two class may be very simple to start with. Otherwise, the rest of the topic you won't be able to understand. So from where to start? Okay, because I said every point can be called beginning point as well as the end point, but somehow I will have to start. Okay. So I am going to start from that point. Around that, everything is going to move. But before I can start, one thing, I am teaching assuming that you know nothing. You know nothing means, okay, your concept or knowledge about the subject is zero. Okay. So don't get worried. Doesn't matter whatever your background is. Okay. You belong to science stream, arts, or maybe commerce. It is not going to make any difference, because this subject, in my personal opinion, is the most applicable. Most applicable. Yes, whatever I am going to teach, whether it's Indian economy or world economy, everything is already known to you people. Okay. Everything, I repeat, whether it's Indian economy or world economy, whatever I will be teaching, everything is already known to you people. Okay. The only thing is you know the things in your own language, okay, in your mother tongue, but in the books they are written in a very technical manner, and technical words they have been used. So making this subject very, very tough. And if your approach is, in fact my approach is bookish, then definitely you are going to be in deep trouble. So my approach is never going to be bookish. I am going to make this subject very, very easy for you. So now starting assuming that you know nothing. Okay. I am starting from zero. So in economics only one thing is there. Okay. Only one thing is there. Around that everything is going to move. I repeat again, only one thing is there. Around that everything is going to move, and that word is called, production. Production is the word around that everything is moving. Nothing else. This is the word around that everything is moving in economics. Now rest of the things, they are the different phases of the word production. Okay. Now onwards, we are going to move around this word production. Whatever topic we are going to start, and then we will reach the point production. Now production, how to define? But in case in a country, two things are normally produced, goods and services. But at the country level, there is no difference at all between goods and services. Like goods, services, they are also produced. Like goods, services, they are also sold. Like goods, services, they do have the money value, and like goods, services, they are also taxable. So in fact, there is no difference at all between production of goods and production of services. So whenever we use the word production, it means production of both. And this is the word, around that everything is going to move. Now, can you define the word production? It's very easy. Now, different writers, they define the word production in different manner. Some people, the easiest definition, it is the process where inputs are converted into outputs with the help of factors of production. It's very simple. Okay. It is the process, conversion process, where input means raw material, so they are converted into finished goods. Then only they can be used. How come? So with the help of factors of production. Means factors of production, they help raw material getting converted into finished goods. So let us now start, and broadly in economics, all the factors of production, they are classified under 4 heads. Okay. They are classified under 4 heads. So they are known to be factors of production. First is called land. Second is called labor. Third is called capital. And fourth is called entrepreneur. Okay. Now you may think these things are very elementary, known to you people as well. But okay, when I am going to teach, you will find the different meaning. Okay. So be careful. Okay. Now these are the 4 factors of production. It's a broad classification, and when they come under the same roof, production will start. So production is a process where raw material means input, so they are converted into output with the help of factors of production. Let us say land. Now land doesn't mean only land. Okay. Land includes building as well. Now the labor. Labor doesn't mean only those people who are being paid on daily basis. No. Labor simply means human resources. Okay. Now the third is capital. Capital here means money, and with the help of money, the rest of the things needed to produce, okay, they will be purchased, like raw material, XYZ, okay. And what about the entrepreneur, the owner? So when these 4 people, these 4 factors of production, they come under the same roof, production is going to take place. It means in the production process, they are going to give their contribution. Let us say the example. Right now I am doing production. Yes, production of services. So in that process, do you think these 4 factors of production, they are helping, they are giving their contribution? Yes. Okay. The person who is the owner of this building, definitely he is having his own contribution. Okay. What about the labor? All the people, labor force, the human resources associated with IQRA. Okay. So they have their own contribution. Either any role of capital, biggest role, without capital, rest of the things, they cannot be purchased. And what about the role of the entrepreneur? The biggest role is of entrepreneur, because it is the entrepreneur who is responsible, okay, to bring the rest of the factors of production under the same roof. And it is the entrepreneur who has managed everything. So maximum role comes from entrepreneur. It simply means in the production process, they give their contribution. And without their contribution, it is not possible to do the production. For me, I will be coming in the category of labor. Okay. So it means they are giving their contribution. So for giving their contribution, they will have to be paid. Without payment, no one is going to give contribution. Now say their respective payment. To the person providing land, we pay rent. To the labor, we pay wages. For capital, we pay interest. To the entrepreneur, we pay profit. So these things are given in the basic book, elementary book. So there are 4 factors of production, and they are their respective payment. To the person providing land, we pay rent. To the labor, we pay wages. For capital, we are paying interest. And to the entrepreneur, we pay profit. Okay. Now let us start the syllabus by taking a very simple example. I am assuming that this year in India, only 1 pen was produced. This year in India, only 1 pen was produced. No other goods, no services. And in making this pen, these 4 factors of production, they were used, and they were paid rupees 2 each. Rupees 2 each. Now the pen is ready. So what is the cost of the pen? the cost of the pen came to rupees 8. Okay, this is known to be factor cost. You must have heard this name. Factor cost is inclusive of payments made to all the factors of production. So when the pen is being removed after production from the factory gate, so it will be costing rupees 8. But when it comes to the market for sale purpose, then in between who will come? Government will come imposing tax. So when the tax of rupees 2 was imposed, its market price became market price, the price at which it will be sold, it became rupees 10. It became rupees 10. Now there are two words. See the board carefully. Factor cost and second is called market price. Now factor cost and market price, these are two different things. Factor cost is inclusive of all the payments made to all the factors of production, but it does not include taxation. But the market price, being the bigger concept, market price, it is inclusive of tax as well. Definitely. So market price and factor cost, they are two different words, not the same word. And definitely market price is always going to be bigger than the factor cost. Let me ask one question from you. It's a very elementary, but lots of confusion is created. My question is, since I have assumed that this year in India only one pen was produced, so the question is, what is the total production of the country this year? 8 or 10? What is the total production of the country? 8 or 10? Very simple question. Now some people they say 8, some people they say 10. Okay, your answer may be correct, it may be incorrect, but your body language is not looking very positive. You are not sure about your answer. And these are the elementary concepts. And if you are not comfortable here, okay, so I understood that you are not comfortable in many chapters, to be honest. Okay, because unless you know these things, what is factor cost, what is market price, are they same? Definitely no. They are two different things. So my question, that's why I asked the question, what is the total production of the country? It is 8 or 10. I have given you only two options, and that too without negative marking. In the examination there will be 4, and that too with negative marking. So try to respond and try to check your answer. Okay. So let me now answer whether it's a 8 or 10. Okay. So correct answer is both. Correct answer is both 8 as well as 10, depending on the criteria. What is the criteria of measuring the production? Production in India, they are being valued at factor cost or at market price. Okay. At factor cost, total production is rupees 8, and at market price it comes to 10. So when we apply different criteria, values are going to be different. At factor cost, the total production value is rupees 8, at market price it is 10. Both are correct. And that's why when you go through the official document of the government, for the same thing you will have different values. First column at factor cost, second column market price, and different values. Later on we will discuss chapters like growth and development. So there you will come across with the concepts like GDP. Okay. Now GDP, there are two values of GDP, GDP factor cost, GDP market price. You got the difference there? GDP, it is also production basically, later on we will discuss. GDP factor cost, GDP market price. Okay. So difference you got, GDP market price means at market price the valuation is taking place, and the factor cost means exclusive of taxation, it is at the factor cost. Similarly, we have GNP factor cost, GNP market price, GNP, NDP factor cost, NDP market price, and in the end NNP factor cost, NNP market price. So these things, they are so important. And let us say by taking very simple example, try to get big problems, try to solve big problems by taking simple example. Simple example in a layman term. By taking big examples, you cannot have a complete command over this subject, because I personally believe this is one of the easiest subject you can have. To be honest, nothing is to be delivered from my side. Everything, whatever I am going to teach, whether it's Indian economy or world economy, all they are known to you people as well, isn't it? Okay, so both the answers are correct, and all the time new things are going to come. Recently you have seen, when this government took over the charge, new concept came, that is called GVA, gross value added. Now GVA, GDP, are they same or they are different? So lots of confusion there, and till today people are not sure whether GDP or GVA is the same or they are two different things. So everything will be answered by me, but later on. Initially I am not going technical. So both the answers are correct, 8 or 10. I will go for factor cost. So right now I am ignoring the government. I'm ignoring the government. So let us now eliminate the government. So what is the total production of the country? So it is 8. Assuming that no government is there. Okay. So now factor cost, you can also say cost of production. Now see the third one, capital. Cost of capital is called interest. In order to conduct the business, we have to borrow, we have to use capital of someone else, and for that we will have to bear the cost. And that's why interest is also known to be debt service charge. Now be careful, interest is an integral part of cost of production. Interest is an integral part of cost of production. And remember, from interest, one question is always going to come in the examination. Two chapters are there in economic survey based on this. And interest is the only factor which is common in between the RBI monetary policy and the government of India's fiscal policy. This you have to remember all the time, because all the time I will be referring this. Interest is an integral part of cost of production. If the rate of interest is high, your production cost as well as the market price will be more, and vice versa. Vice versa. Okay, so interest, I repeat, it is an integral part of cost of production, and interest is the common factor or the only factor which is common in between RBI's monetary policy and the government's fiscal policy. Coming back to now the same example. See the board again. So total production of the country is 8. Okay. We have assumed that only this pen was produced during the year. Now see the same example, this time from different angle, you will have different meaning. See the same example. It's all about your analysis, how you are able to analyze the thing, and this is what we are going to do. You have to see the same example, what we have discussed, but this time from different angle, you will have different meaning. Now you said, in fact all we said, during the year, the total production of the country is 8. That's fine. Now, what is this 8? What is this 8? Is it summation of these 4? So, definitely yes. Now, let us say one by one. This rupees 2. This rupees 2 rent, is it income for the person providing land? Answer is yes. This rupees 2 wages paid to the labor, is it income for the labor? The answer is yes. Now this rupees 2 interest, whatever we are paying, so is it income for the person providing capital? The answer is yes. And what about this 2 rupees profit? Is it income for the entrepreneur? The answer is yes. So these two each 4 times, what they are basically? They are basically the incomes for the respective factors of production. And then my question is, what is the total income generated during the year in the country? What is the total income generated in the country during the year? So total income generated also, it comes to rupees 8. It comes to rupees 8. This 2 rupee rent is the income for the land, 2 rupees wages, income for the labor, 2 rupees interest, income for the person providing capital, and this 2 rupees profit, income for the entrepreneur. So my question is very simple. What is the total income generated in the country? So it is also 8. This is the second side of the coin. Second side of the coin. Production means income. Okay, I have taken at factor cost. Even if you take the value at market price, then it will be 10. In that case also, total income generated will be rupees 10, because in that case 2 rupees of taxation will be the income for the government. So production and income, I repeat, they are the two sides of the same coin, and they are always going to be equal. During the year, whatever we produce, by the same amount income is going to be generated. I repeat again. During the year, whatever we produce and whenever we produce, by the same amount income is going to be generated. Because production and income, they are not two different things. They are the two sides of the same coin, and generation of income is going to be the key. I repeat again. Whatever we produce, by the same amount income is going to be generated. So production and income, they are the two sides of the same coin. They are not two different things. In fact, production is the world, around that everything is going to move. So these are always going to be equal. Production means income, and generation of income is going to be the key. Let me ask the same question. Reason becomes remedy. Okay. And try to get the reason first, and once you are comfortable there, you already know the remedy. You people are poor. Practically I may be wrong, assume that. Okay. You people are poor. The question is, why you are poor? Why you are poor? Because for you people, income could not be generated. Income could not be generated. So where the remedy? Let us generate income for you. The reason becomes remedy. But how to generate income? Okay. Because this is not the problem of India. This is the problem of the whole world except for some of the rich countries. People are poor. Why they are poor? Because for them, income could not be generated. So let us generate income for them. Let us generate income for them. But how to generate income? Okay. So the only way to generate the income, that is through production. That is through production. Yes, this is the approach of the whole world. Okay. Okay, let us generate income in the country. Okay. Then only we can think about getting the other objective. But how to generate income? The concept is very simple. Let us generate income through production. And this has been the policy of India as well. And that's why the policy of the whole world is the same, to move the country forward. How come? By increasing the production. By increasing the production. Because when production is increasing, what will happen? Production will increase, okay, then income will be generated. Yes, and then once income is generated, then only problems can be solved. Okay. Let me now discuss the same concept again. Okay. The whole world is following the same principle to generate income only through production. Later on, the technical word I will be using like GDP. Now, India is a big country, you know, and on the basis of GDP, our ranking in the recent time keeps on fluctuating. Now, recently it is reported that now our ranking has come down to 7 after COVID, and the size of the economy right now is a 2.7 trillion American dollar. 2.7. Yes, earlier rank was 7, when they moved to 5th, now it has come down to 7. And after COVID-19, production of the country, it has come down. So definitely less generation of income. So coming back to the same question, how to generate income? Okay. So only through production. Now income can be generated in other ways as well. Other ways as well, and let me discuss two more ways of generating income. And then you can judge, you can easily answer, sir, whether this is correct way of generating income or not. Let me discuss first. And just you try to find whether this is the correct way of generating income. Now in India, who is printing the notes? The notes are printed by the RBI. RBI. So what RBI can do, or simply why don't Government of India giving orders to the RBI to print the notes and distribute among the people of India? And every Indian should be provided with rupees 50 lakh. So what RBI is doing? Printing the notes and distributing among the Indian people. And when Indian people, they are getting 50 lakh each, definitely income has been generated for them. But do you think, is it the correct way of generating income? Is it the correct way of generating income? So answer is no. What is wrong here? So different people, they give their explanation in different manner, but all are correct. All are correct. So here when people of India, they are getting 50 lakh each, so income has been generated, but this income was generated not through production, and that's why this is not the solution. This is not the solution. See what will happen? When RBI is printing the notes and every Indian is provided with rupees 50 lakh, so what will happen to demand? Demand will go up to a sky level. Demand will go up to a sky level. So do you think it's a bad? Demand of the country is going to be very, very high. So do you think it is going to be, the solution, demand is very high? So it's a good or bad? So you people may say, sir, it's a very bad. It's a very bad, but that is incorrect. Demand of the country is very high. So it is said in economics, nothing can be said to be better than this situation. It is said that if you want to keep economy alive, you will have to keep demand alive. The day demand gets saturated or maybe it starts falling, it is said that the death process of the economy has started. Yes, so demand is the key. So demand of the country will go up to very high level. So it is the best thing you can have, but the condition is it should be accompanied by increase in production. Demand is increasing and in the same proportion production is also increasing, means supply. Nothing is better than that. But the problem will be created when demand is increasing but supply is not responding. Then you will have a huge gap between demand and supply, leading to high rate of inflation, and the value of money will be lost very, very soon. Okay. But my point is, money has a link with both demand and supply. For demand also we need money. For supply also we need money. So when RBI is printing the notes and distributing among the people, okay, money has a link with supply and demand both. So both should be increasing in the same proportion. Okay. Then what is wrong here? Demand will be high, supply will respond, there will be no problem, country will move forward. Okay. But now listen to me carefully. Okay. What I said, money has a link with both demand and supply, there is no doubt about that. But always remember, money alone can increase the demand, but money alone cannot increase the supply. I repeat again. Money alone, okay, this is the basic philosophy behind the RBI's monetary policy as well. Money alone can increase the demand, but money alone cannot increase the supply. Okay, this is known to see the reason. Okay. When people of India, they get money, definitely they will go for demand. Their demand is going to increase immediately, provided there is a wish. And regarding wish, there is no problem. Okay, since you have grown up, only wish is there. But once you get the money, okay, you will immediately go for demand. So money alone can increase the demand, but money alone cannot increase the supply. To increase the supply, broadly we need two types of resources: monetary resource, money, and non-monetary resources. They are known to be physical resources as well. See the board again. To increase supply, apart from money, we need land, we need labor, we need raw material, we need technician, we need technology, we need machine, we need entrepreneur, we need time as well. Okay. So all they, apart from money, so they are called non-monetary resources, and yes, we need money as well. So in the absence of non-monetary resources, money alone is not capable of increasing supply, but money alone can increase the demand. So what will happen when people of India, they get 50 lakh each, demand will increase suddenly because money alone can increase the demand, but supply won't be increasing. Supply will struggle. So what will happen? Then you will have a huge gap leading to high rate of inflation. High rate of inflation, and okay, what will happen? Rate of inflation will be so high, okay, you will simply lose the value of money. Those things which are costing rupees 10 per kilogram right now, so very soon they will be costing rupees 10,000 kilogram, and very soon all your money will be exhausted, and then the situation will be very, very critical. Okay, this is said to be a completely wrong policy. It will lead to the collapse of the economy, and there are few cases I have seen. Okay. You have seen two cases are prominent. One is Zimbabwe, and second recently is Venezuela. The central bank of these two countries, they went for policy like such, okay, and their economy collapsed. See the case of Venezuela, one of the major producer of crude oil, you know. But wrong policy of the central bank of Venezuela. What happened? Okay, last 3 months ago, the rate of inflation in India, in Venezuela, it was around 17 lakh %. Rate of inflation, it was around 17 lakh %. Okay. In our country, if the rate of inflation is touching 10%, people of India, they start crying. Okay. This high rate of inflation is leading to huge problem for them. And if the rate of inflation is 17 lakh % plus, you can imagine. So that economy is the outcome. Same happened in case of Zimbabwe. So these two countries, they collapsed because of the poor policy. Okay. So this is not the correct way of generating income. Do you think, okay, so printing the notes and distributing among the people of India, so do you think it's a correct way of generating money? You said no. Okay. Then one more option. Why to involve RBI? Let the people of India give the permission to print their own currency, and some people they are doing. Do you think is it correct? No. But the question is, income has to be generated. Okay. Again coming to the same question, why you people are poor? Okay. Why you people are poor? So answer is because for you people, income could not be generated. So where is the remedy? To generate income. But how to generate income? Okay. Income has to be generated to solve your problem. So income should be generated, has to be generated only through production. Yes, and this has been the policy of the whole world. Policy of the whole world to move the country forward, okay, by increasing production. Why India has targeted to become 5 trillion economy, 5 trillion American dollar economy from 2.7, the same purpose, to increase production so that more and more income can be generated. Okay. This is the policy of the whole world, yes, to focus on the GDP, on the growth rate, X budget, okay, to move the country. Now, recently you can say COVID-19, still problems are there, and because of that, the underdeveloped, including India, the nature of problem of Indian economy changed suddenly. Okay. Nature of problem. See, problems are going to be there till economy there. Okay. Now, government of India is coming out with some budgetary measure, maybe taking some measures. Okay. The policies of the government, whatever measures they are taken by the government, so they are basically, okay, the means, okay, to solve the problem. So, the first thing, you must get the nature of problem. What type of problem is there? You have to prescribe the medicine according to the problem, according to the disease. All the patient cannot be given the same medicine. Okay. And that's why when we discuss later on the budget this year, the budget of India, it has failed to recognize the nature of problem of Indian economy. Now the nature of problem of Indian economy for the last 2 years, it has changed. It has changed, and particularly after COVID-19, it has changed suddenly. It has changed suddenly. See, after COVID-19, you can say a number of people, many people, they lost their job. So many people, their incomes have fallen, and moreover, those people who are earning, maybe earning TikTok, but they have become apprehensive. So they have cut down their expenditure. They prefer to maintain the liquidity so that maybe in future again the virus may come and they may be facing the difficulties. And that's why in the market you can say it's a lack of demand. Lack of demand. Demand of the country has come down. Demand of the country has come down. And that's why our approach in the recovery process of an economy has to be different. Demand, lack of demand. It has never been our problem in the past. Now this government may be blaming that because of the COVID, demand of the country has come down. But that is not 100% correct. 100% correct. See the example again. That is going to help you a lot. In 2020 budget, 2020, just before 1st of February 2020, when budget was presented by the finance minister for the next year means 2021. So in the budget, last year budget, it was mentioned that there is a slowdown of Indian economy. Slowdown of economy. You cannot say it's a recession, it's a slowdown. And the main reason it was mentioned, that is correct. Because fall in the consumption expenditure of the rural people. Rural people or rural economy. It means consumption expenditure leading to demand, it has come down. Yes, rural people, their consumption expenditure, it has fallen. If you go through the last year budget, you can see the figures as well. So lack of, you can say, fall in the consumption expenditure coming from the rural economy, rural area. What is the reason? Rural economy till today, it is depending on more or less agriculture. And the Indian agriculture, since independence, it is at its worst phase. To be honest, Indian agriculture is on ventilator. Indian agriculture is in coma. Now, farmers, they are also producers. Dominating agriculture, dominating rural area. Now, farmers, they are going to suffer on both accounts. If the monsoon is unfavorable, farmers are going to suffer. And if the monsoon is favorable, in that case also, farmers, they suffer. Because if the monsoon is favorable, surplus is created and leading to drastic fall in market price. Market price falls to such a low level that farmers, they fail to recover their cost as well. So in both the cases, what the farmers are going to do, they are going to suffer. Whether it's a good agriculture season or bad, So as a result, the rural area has got affected. Particularly incomes generated in the rural area, it has come down and leading to low consumption expenditure. So leading to slowdown of economy. Okay. This was prior to COVID. Last year budget. Okay. Indian economy right now is facing the problem of slowdown of economy. And reason I gave you, because of consumption expenditure coming from the rural area, it has come down because of the poor performance of the agriculture. Okay, but nothing was wrong with the urban consumption expenditure. Consumption expenditure of the urban people, it was very good, very good. So there was no need to worry. But then came COVID-19. After that, you know everything. Okay. Even though a lockdown process was on, but now the consumption expenditure of the urban area also, it has come down. It has come down. Why it has come down? You know the reasons. Okay. Many people, many sectors, okay, they were open very late. In fact, few sectors, they have not been open till today. Okay. Moreover, most of the people, many people, they lost the job. Okay. Their incomes have fallen. And moreover, people are now trying to put themselves on the safer mode. Yes, those people who have got the money, so they have cut down their expenditure. Cut down the expenditure. So right now the problem is, okay, consumption expenditure leading to demand, it has come down drastically. It has come down drastically. So now, isn't it? Our problem, producers are there, markets are open, but there is expenditure, you can say, consumers are missing. Okay. Let us say the case of everywhere, whether it's a case of goods or maybe services. Let us go to Delhi. You know, Delhi metro per day prior to COVID. So normally the consumers means the commuters. So per day on an average, 37 lakhs of commuters, they were using Delhi metro. Now it has come down to, the entire Delhi is open. Now it has come down to only 10 lakh computers per day. Okay. So fall in demand of the services provided by the metro as well. So yes, the markets are open, but consumers are missing. Okay. Lack of demand. Okay. So the problem of Indian economy has suddenly changed, particularly for the last 2 years. Okay. And yes, COVID is the main factor, but you cannot say COVID, because of COVID also only demand has come down. Prior to COVID also, since the government India failed to improve the conditions of farmers, and yes, rural expenditure has come down, leading to slowdown and whatever COVID has done, you know the thing. So now our problem is, it's a revival of demand. Now, you just think in a layman term, producers are there ready with the money, but for whom? Because whatever they have produced, consumers' demand is missing. So do you think they will keep on producing in that situation? Answer is no. They will produce only when demand is on. So that's why there was a need to change the strategy of the government. There are two strategies in the process of recovery. First is known to be investment-led recovery. Investment-led recovery. And the second is consumption-led recovery. Consumption-led recovery. So two approaches are there. First is investment-led recovery. Second is consumption-led recovery. Now, investment-led recovery means basically by increasing production, and consumption-led recovery means by increasing demand. So your strategy, your policy has to be according to the nature of the problem. So these two things, on this concept, the budget is going to be, and we will discuss what is wrong with the budget of India. See, in the budget, whatever things are given, known to everyone, but I will discuss the first in totality, what is wrong with the budget and why the government of India, right now particularly on the fiscal front, is not doing well and creating major problems for Indian economy. And yes, it seems the policy paralysis on the part of the Ministry of Finance. They have failed to diagnose the problems of Indian economy. Right now, recently, one of the statements came from the ex-RBI governor, Mr. Raghuram Rajan. He clearly mentioned that now the time has come to put money into the hands of individuals, to put money into the hands of the people of India so that demand can be created and economy can move forward. Recovery should be on. So what should be the strategy? Investment-led recovery or consumption-led recovery? Okay. So these things we need to discuss in detail. Okay. So let us now discuss these two in detail.